A very warm welcome to you. You find me sitting with clementines today. Welcome to episode 4 of With Love, Vanessa. I will elevate, I will sprinkle joy, and I hope that you will feel that you have just a tiny sliver of the privilege that I'm lucky enough to enjoy. You know that what I like to do is elevate your pedestrian, bog standard, humdrum life so I can raise you to my level, raise you up. That's what I'm trying to do, raise you. Now, we talk about elevating your life. You think it's a concept. I'm here to tell you, elevating is entirely literal. Elevate just means make something higher. You can make yourself higher if you make the right kind of match. You can take yourself from somebody who used to open the box or open the suitcase on a game show to a princess or a duchess if you play your cards right. But elevating isn't just through marriage, I find out. It can be entirely practical. So here we are. This is a column. You might call it a pillar. I don't know what you want to call it, but I call it my aid to elevation, an elevation aid. So let me show you this. This is, you might say, just an ordinary box of Crunchy Nut cereal. Did I mention that I'm going to be producing my very own brand of cereal? It is called Get That Vanessa Crunch. It's got dried mango in it. It's got dried, here we are, some more dried, beautiful hydrangea petals in it. It is the most toothsome and the most elevating cereal you could ever eat. I haven't yet perfected the packaging because I've had a few, I don't know if you realise, trademark issues. You know, I was going to call it Southend, Clacton-on-Sea, Frinton cereal, but I think that had already been patented, and I was going to call it Hey Good Looking, but they'd said that had been patented. So I haven't yet perfected the packaging, but look out for the cereal. It is £18.95 a packet, and you are going to love it. Now, the cereal on a table. Oh yes, I know, I'm so sorry about the kitchen island. And Mark, what's the situation with the crowdfunding?
£9.86.
Okay, it's climbing in slow increments, but I the moment Netflix, and if you could just pump this program in their direction so that the CEO stops just lying on his back sunbathing and enjoying a BJ from some willing person, and instead realises that this is a show that should be commissioned. When they do, I will borrow somebody else's kitchen with a gorgeous kitchen island. At the moment, I'm so sorry to confine you to this. Okay, elevate, 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 Vanessa. So here's a box of cereal on a table. What does that look like? Uninspiring, quotidian, boring, nothing special about it. Take that cereal, place it on a pedestal column, instant elevation, literally from down there to up here. Suddenly the cereal looks regal and promising, imperious, desirable, aspirational. Let me show you this miracle again, the miracle of elevation. Okay, you take a Terry's chocolate orange, a box of Terry's chocolate left over from Christmas. No, of course I don't eat. That's not something that you would do in my position. Eating is not a thing. Serving is a thing. Making something look gorgeous and sprinkling, of course, my limited edition hydrangea petals, that is the thing, but eating I would not do, of course not, because otherwise I couldn't maintain this magnificent hourglass figure, which I was just going to say my husband, I don't actually have a husband, I'm single at the moment, but I'm trying to get one, really appreciate it. So here's a humble terraced chocolate orange, left over from Christmas. Look at it on the table. You wouldn't look at it twice, would you? Elevate it, literally, make it higher. Put it on a pedestal. You're thinking, is that pedestal, Vanessa, Doric? Is it Ionic? Is it Corinthian? I'm saying to you, it doesn't matter. As long as it elevates, that's all you need to know. Look at that on that pedestal there. That could come from Windsor Castle, that terraced chocolate orange, couldn't it? That could come from Buckingham Palace as it reclines there splendidly in this magnificent pomp and circumstance on this pedestal. And let me show you this. Now, this is a half-eaten package of cheddars. I don't know who could have eaten them. It is true I live alone. I'm not sure that I'm going to admit in public to ever eating something quite so unelevated. But you take that humble half-eaten pack of cheddars that I might have got on an EasyJet flight back from Torremolinos. But anyway, and you pick them up. You see, you literally elevate them. I'm going to step back. Enjoy those cheddars in their isolated, elevated splendor. Take this as a tip from me. What you are lacking is the means to literally elevate. So purchase a pedestal from my collection. It's the Vanessa Elevate pedestal. Now I am selling these for the bargain price of £179.50 sterling, and you can have them in any finish you like. You can have them in an Etruscan mural finish. You can have them in a gosh, I'm the wall of a cave Neanderthal finish. You can have them in Elizabethan fleur-de-lis finish. You can rag roll them yourself at home to show off to your friends that you've only known a couple of minutes. But this is the key to elevating. Purchase this pedestal and you will see your life grow taller before your very eyes. Well, I like to elevate my breakfast experience by drinking a beautiful Jimmy's coffee. Now you're thinking, Vanessa, are you doing an advert right now? Is this a commercial? And I'm here to say no, but I'd love to be, because I really do drink Jimmy's coffee. And if they would like to sponsor me before Netflix pays me £80 million to do another series of With Love, Vanessa, Jimmy's, here I am drinking your coffee. I love a Jimmy's in the morning. Now, I love lots of other things in the morning as well. Morning Glory, I always find, is a wonderful start to the day if I'm lucky enough to find a provider of that particular service. That elevates my morning too. Morning Glory, a lovely thing, a beautiful, beautiful taste of joy and taste of sometimes other things too in your life. Anyway, Jimmy's coffee. So here it is. Now you think, Vanessa, you've enjoyed the coffee. Now you have an empty can. Naturally, you've had somebody who works for you to wash it out because, you know, there's no point in making the strides you've made in life and doing your own washing up. And I concur. And when you do adhere to all the beautiful life hacks and tips that I give you and elevate your life, you might be able to afford somebody to wash up your Jimmy's coffee can too. And I really hope you will swiftly and soon. So here I have a beautiful, clean, empty can of Jimmy's coffee. Do I just toss it in the garbage? Do I fling it into the wheelie bin, as we say quite amusingly here in London, England? No, I don't. Conservation is at the very heart of my heart and the soul of my soul. So what do I do? Well, you take a small decorative serviette. I prefer to call it a napkin. I think you'll find as you elevate your social circles along with me that people will normally refer to it as a napkin. And then you separate the gratuitous, superfluous layer at the back, a little bit like my last relationship. You separate yourself from that gratuitous, superfluous layer. You fling the superfluous as far away as you can and hope never, ever to have your doors darkened again, either your front doors or indeed your back doors. You don't want any of your doors darkened again. Then you take what remains, just layer one, the pretty one, of your decorative napkin. You take your Jimmy's coffee can and you lightly spread it with this unguent paste which is called Mod Podge, which you can get from almost anywhere. And then you just artfully, see that? Append your lovely decorative napkin in whatever pattern you so choose to this lovely can. And the next thing, really a veritable miracle will occur. Isn't that correct, Mark?
Yes.
Would you like to show how the miracle unfolds? Look at that. That is one I prepared earlier with a different beautiful paper napkin. And when it's all done and finished, this is called decoupage. It's something that Victorian ladies used to enjoy doing. You take a tulip, you place it in your decoupaged former Jimmy's coffee tin, now an exquisite cloisonné vase made by your own fair hand using less than a whole paper napkin. Isn't that enchanting? It's enchanting.
Yes, it is, Vanessa.
It is.
Very enchanting.
Yes. Is there anything else you'd like to contribute to this, Mark?
Do you want to talk about this, Vanessa?
This was actually a bauble that you could hang on a Christmas tree, and I gave it my decoupaging attention. I elevated it. I took it from a humble bauble to an exquisite cloisonné apple decoration that could grace any table, really. It would be a centerpiece of any tablescape. Anything else you'd like to contribute, Mark?
Would you like to talk about that one?
Yes, this is another former Jimmy's coffee can, now in an exquisite iteration as a wonderful vessel and cloisonné vase.
Would you like to talk about this one?
Absolutely. This is, I would say, Fabergé in effect. This is one I did earlier. Look, I am single. What the hell else am I supposed to do, quite frankly? Until I'm snapped up by my own prince, my knight in shining armour. I've got to keep busy somehow.
What about Tinder?
Did you say what about Tinder?
What about Tinder?
Well, it would have to be Raya, but I heard that the only people on it are prostitutes and David Walliams.
How many of these have you actually done, Vanessa?
Well, I mean, I'm not quite sure. I haven't really counted. Some of these tulips are a little large for the vessel. How many have I done? 400 or 500, I suppose. Oh no! When you elevate, you just need somebody who works for you to fill them with water, maybe a little bit of gravel, so that they are levelled. But I think you'll agree that going from this to this to this means that your life is elevated. Welcome, welcome. Welcome to nature. Welcome to the great outdoors. Welcome to the smell of the Jubilee line, diesel fuel, all those sweet sensory enhancements that elevate your life. So here I am to show you a magnificent way of incorporating nature into your home. You may not have considered this, but horticulture, plants, they add greenness, they add a little fillip of Mother Nature herself to your home. So this is what I recommend that you do. You go to your local Tesco Express, another supermarket could be fine. You purchase, this is a hyacinth and it costs £2.50. You will see it's in a carton that you don't need. You discard that. Here it is with all its roots just pushing through, and you place it instead in a lovely, wholesome, artisan ceramic bowl. And there you have an exquisite arrangement provided to you by Mother Nature herself that you put on the bedside table when your close personal friends come to visit. Soon, the aroma will be magnificent. This is my gift to you, the gift of a green life with green fingers, and I will be selling hyacinth plants and bulbs on my Vanessa. You can take a horticulture, but you can't make her think range. Hello, you may have heard of tugging on somebody's heartstrings, but have you ever heard of twanging on somebody's cheese strings? Now, you may be a stranger, because I know we have a large international audience for With Love, Vanessa. You may be a stranger to this utter adornment to the British selection of cheese. But it is called, it's a real miracle of invention. It is called the Cheesestring. It comes packaged thus, and when you take it out, you'll see it's artfully and neatly arranged in individual little orbs of cheese stringiness. Now, why am I opening my cheese strings? In order to show you something elevating. I'll tell you why. Because you can turn a cheese string, just a couple of cheese strings, into a ray of sunshine, which is what I try to do for you to light up your life. So look at the way. Look at that magnificent. Isn't that beautiful? Isn't there a lovely kind of orchestral element? Because, you know, the string section of an orchestra, the cheese string, is very closely akin to that. So you're dividing this lovely cheese string into a selection, think of it this way, of the sun's rays. And you're going to...
A bit of bra.
Oh, God.
Sorry.
So, sorry about the bra, folks. Not quite sure what to do about that. Okay, how about that? Does that...
Yeah.
Okay, good. So you're going to be taking sections, like orchestral sections, like the string section of an orchestra, and simply separating them and then arranging them enticingly in a sun's rays pattern. So you're replicating the rays, the majestic, warming and sepulchral rays of the sun, and you do it simply with a cheese string. I think, because I know you're on a limited budget, because you haven't yet managed to elevate your lives sufficiently, and I feel for you. I remember what it was like when I was just an ordinary, humble person before I was famous. I think you could eke out one solitary cheese string to do this. I don't think you'll need more than one for this. I think if you're just ingenious and delicate and deft of hand, you can actually manage enough sun's rays with one cheese string. So this has cost you very little Marnie, look at that. Do you see that? And then how are you going to make the face of the sun? Well, you take an orange like this and simply slice it into a beautiful, sunny sun's face. You put it in the middle of your wonderful concentric sun's rays, which are warming your heart and soul, elevating you in ways you never even imagined. And here you have it. Welcome to the sun. Do your downward dog. I hope it will shine on you throughout your day and on your families and friends too.